Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be giving my comments, opinions, and the results of WWE Raw 19th of December 2016. We kick off the show with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens in the ring. Kevin welcomes everyone to the Kevin O. Stops and then says the Chris and Kevin show. Kevin points out that he mentioned Chris first. He said there is nothing that he will not do to make sure the Universal title is with him. He does not care if it means taking a co-breaker from his best friend. Chris asks for the monkeys to show the photos and Kevin yells at them for taking too long. Kevin tells Chris he has to admit when you showed up in the ring he had no idea what Chris was going to do. Chris's plan was perfect. Chris asked for the monkeys to show the photos and Kevin yelled at them for taking too long. Kevin tells Chris he has to admit that when he showed up he had no idea what he was planning to do. Chris's plan was perfect and he had even him fooled. Kevin says he never doubted Chris and that codebreaker did not hurt as much as the idea that Chris was not his best friend. The Universal title is where it belongs. Chris said that the codebreaker hurt him more than it hurt Kevin. He had to make everyone believe. Chris wanted Kevin to believe now that their friendship is intact. He is going to give Kevin the hug of Jericho. I loved that part. Now the team, Kevin and Chris, are back together. They are going to hand out payback and retribution like Santa gives out Cole. Kevin asks if he means Michael Cole, and that would be terrible. Bad jokes right there. Thank you very much. Chris asks Kevin what else does Santa do besides hang out gifts and make lists. Kevin says he looks stupid. Chris calls Santa a stupid idiot and tells Santa if you're going to steal his ideas, you go on the list. Mick Foley makes his way to the ring and tells Chris you don't want to talk that way about Santa. Mick says that Chris has been really naughty and he wants to follow up on the payback and retribution, and Mick wonders why they did not show what happened after the match. We see the photos about them getting powerbombed ending through the announce tables. Kevin said the powerbomb could have ended his career. Mick says he knows what payback is about. Kevin points out he is a national treasure. Chris comments on Mick's outfit and Mick says he will show you what the worst thing you have ever seen is, and Mick takes off his jacket. It was even worse. Mick says the only reason Seth and Roman are not in the ring, they will be getting some revenge in a tag team match later tonight in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the is then corrected that it is in Columbus. The crowd booed when he said Pittsburgh. It was really funny. Chris says Pittsburgh is better than Columbus anyway. Kevin said it does not matter what happened last night. They made sure that Kevin would win. They will figure out something tonight. Mick says Jericho always finds a way to interfere. That stops at the Royal Rumble. That is where the retribution begins. Mick says Santa's brought a present from the North Pole. We see a shark cage lowered into the ring. Kevin says you cannot do that to Chris. Mick says Roman Reigns will face Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble and Chris Jericho will be suspended above the ring in the cage and you will never interfere again. Chris and Kevin comment about Mick criticising the way Chris says again. Chris and Kevin say that Mick cannot make him go in there. Mick says if Chris does not go in the cage, he will never step foot in a WWE ring again. Chris said he is afraid of heights. Kevin says it's not safe. Chris talks about the material and Kevin says it's terrible because it's made in Ohio. Chris says the same thing. Mick tells Chris to check the floor of the cage and Mick closes the cage and then Mick could not find the key after he locks it. He then says he forgot the key. He tells Chris that he is safe because the cage does not go up until he gives this a signal at the Royal Rumble, doing it and it raises up. It was really funny. Then we go to the backstage and we see Chris getting oxygen and Kevin stops by. Chris is breathing heavily. Kevin tells Chris he needs to get his head in the game. Chris says that he was high and Kevin wants the oxygen back from the paramedics. Okay, that was a lot of text. Sorry about that. But it was a really, really good opening segment. I thought Chris and Kevin looked amazingly heel. It made Mick Foley look good, especially with the shark cage thing. It was really funny. It was a great opening segment. Then we move on to Enzo Amore and Cass making their way to the ring, and they do the usual entrance. Colin tells Rusev that last night he took the coward's way out. You may have notched a victory, but that does not change the fact that there's still one word to describe you. S-A-W-F. Rusev music hits. Then we have a match. Cass versus Rusev, a rematch. Basically, Cass kicks the shit out of Rusev in the corner and gets disqualified. After the match, he continues the punches despite the referee telling him to stop. He stops the assault finally, and then Rusev leaves through the crowd. Yeah, it did what it needed to do, I guess. I don't really know much more to say about that. It was alright. Then we go to Sasha Banks making her way to the ring, and she has a knee brace on her injured leg, and she had a crutch to help her get to the ring. She said last night she literally gave her blood, sweat and tears, and she said tapping twice nearly broke her leg and it broke her heart. She talks about the history that she made with Charlotte. Last night she walked out of Roadblock without her women's championship. As much as it hurt her and it kills her to say, the better woman won. Sasha says she was taught to win or lose with respect, and she wants Charlotte to come down here so she can congratulate her. Nia Jax's music plays. Nia walks around Sasha and she says she does not know if Charlotte is here, but she does not care. You can call yourself the boss and be the boss of the sheep in the crowd. You will never be the boss of her. You are weak and you are wounded. You are a little girl. Nia kicks the crutch away. Sasha falls on the mat. She picks up Sasha and smashes her into the ropes, and her leg hits the ropes. Nia stands over Sasha with a crutch, and then she just leaves the ring, attempting to hit her but mocking it. It was the crowd reaction to any of Sasha's words were 0% because nobody cares. I'm sorry to say it, but you flip-flopped way too many times for anyone to actually care about you losing it for the 95th time. Then we go to Sheamus and Cesaro with Mick Foley in the back. Mick brings up their victory at Roadblock. Mick says he feels like a proud papa because he put them together. Sheamus said they doubted Mick, but Mick said he doubted them. Mick says he knew that they could have changed the face of the tag team division, and they did. You have created magic in the ring. Mick says he has an early Christmas present. He has the new Raw tag team titles. Sheamus gives the old ones to Cesaro and he takes the new ones. Sheamus wants them in green. The new belts were really nice. They are a red belt with silver. It's basically looking like the blue and silver, but the red and silver. It actually works really nicely. If I can get a picture, I'll splice it in. Then the referee comes in and gets Mick because of an emergency. We see Braun Strowman attacking random people and trashing the local area he was around. Mick wants to know what Braun is doing. Braun says Sammy survived 10 minutes because he let him. He wants Sammy now. Mick says Sammy is 100 miles away. He tells Braun to take the night off. Braun says it will be or else, which was a really nice promo from Braun. I'm so looking and loving their feud at the minute. It's a really good feud. Then we go to Austin Aries joining Cole and Graves on commentary for a cruiserweight match. We have Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar. It was a pretty quick match, was alright. Most of the commercial took it up. Alexander with a lumbar check for the 3 count. After the match, Noam Dar congratulated Cedric. He said he beat Cedric 2 weeks ago, so they are even. He said they are not even because you've got what he wants. He said you still have Alicia Fox. He said Alicia is a real part and all he wants for Christmas is her. And this feud I'm loving. Noam Dar as a heel is priceless. Cedric Alexander's an amazing worker. So is Noam Dar. The feud is amazing and I hope they carry it on. Then we go to the New Day making their way to the ring, and they have a less bounce in their step than they had for the last 483 days. Xavier said after 483 days, the historic legendary tag team championship reign of the New Day has hit a roadblock. Kofi said they cannot mourn forever. Ric Flair could have not become a 16-time champion without losing 15 times. Big E said that they will be Charlotte in a month. Big E said the New Day cannot become your 3-time champions without losing a few times. Xavier said they will once again become your WWE World Tag Team Champions. That's the wrong thing, but what are you going to do? Cesaro comes out and he is joined by his fellow tag team partner Sheamus. Sheamus starts talking, but Cesaro stops Sheamus. He tells him not to do it because he's going to do a bit of their promo. Sheamus said he's full of positive now, but the reality is a new day. It's day 1 of the reign of the new WWE Tag Team Champions, Sheamus. Cesaro jumps in and they go back and forth saying the names to the crowd reaction changing for the yay boo thing. It was really good. Kofi says that just after one day of being the tag team champion, you were given new belts. Kofi said they had to walk around with the heavy copper belts. He said that someone would out the New Day and they are happy it was them lot. Sheamus thanks Kofi, but Xavier tells Sheamus, shame, Xavier said they were saying congratulations, but they were talking about Cesaro. Big E says he has a cat-like reflexes. Cesaro says it was good to be strong, and when you're teaming with this guy, Sheamus wants to know what Cesaro's talking about. Sheamus mentions Sheamus' ego. Sheamus says he does not care what anyone thinks about him. He said they are champions because of him, so chew on that. He said the New Day's reign of terror is over. The 480 days of disgrace of the tag team titles is over. Cesaro said they did not disgrace them. Sheamus says if they can be champions for 483 days, he can hold the titles for 20 years. Xavier says for over 483 days, there was music, singing and dancing. There were more than 20 New Day shirts made. There was cereal. There was the old date. Maybe you should forget about that. They used the power of positivity. Big E said you will never match their title reign because... Then Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows come out. Carl says he sees a bunch of, and Luke says, nerds in the ring. It's sadder because the New Day think they are the greatest tag team champions, or Sheamus and Cesaro think they've won the titles on their own. Luke says if it wasn't for them beating down the Nerd Day, Sheamus and Cesaro would not be the tag team champions. Echo and Primo come out and said this is the holiday season, so they should not be fighting. Epico says that they have the perfect holiday gift. Primo says everyone should have fun at the Shining Stars Resort. Cesaro rips up the brochure, and then Primo and Epico attack Cesaro, and then we go to an 8-man tag after that. The finish happened when Cesaro set up the swing on Epico, hits it, and then does a sharpshooter, and Epico taps out pretty immediately. It was a really, really good little segment between all the teams. It made it feel a bit fresher with the New Day not being the champions. I liked it, actually. Hopefully they can do a brand new division. I would hope that. Then we go to Enzo and Cass in the locker room, and Enzo takes blame for Colin's recent problems. Cass tells Enzo to focus on how much fun they are going to have in Columbus. Enzo is given a letter and said maybe it's from Ed McMahon. Colin points out that he is dead. Enzo says maybe it's from Vince McMahon. Enzo said that maybe they are getting a raise. The letter says that he has to undergo sensitivity training because he has exposed himself last month. Enzo thought he'd have to go back to class. Cass wished him a good night. It was quite funny, to be fair. Let's move straight on. We see Neville, and he makes his way to the ring. Neville says last night he single-handedly destroyed the Cruiserweight champion Rich Swann and his little buddy TJ Perkins. And you people cheered him. That's Rich. It has been a long time since you people cheered for him. Usually you only cheer for him when you think he is vulnerable or small or in despair. He does not want your cheers or your sympathy. He says you can stick 'em. Make no bones about it. This is a warning. If your little favourite happens to be on 205 Live because it is too bad. Neville says he's going to obliterate the division. Rich Swann makes his way onto the stage. Swann wants to know what happened to the man he looked up to. Neville wants to know where Swann's respect is. He took Swann under his wing in Japan and taught him everything he knows. His career skyrocketed, but where is respect for the true king of the cruiserweights? Swann comes to the ring and tells Neville if he can call himself anything he likes, but as long as he holds this title, he is the best cruiserweight in the division, and you cannot handle this. Brian Kendrick comes out and tells Swann how dare he talk to Neville like that. Kendrick asked, how can you start a cruiserweight division without Neville? They are both pioneers, and this would not be possible without them. Kendrick says Neville respects him. Neville tells Swann that he needs to learn his place. Kendrick and Neville surround Swann. Swann with a shot to Neville, but Kendrick takes over. Neville kicks Swann, and TJ Perkins makes his way to the ring, and then he gets beat down. Neville and Kendrick stand over Swann and Perkins. Kendrick with a slice bread number 2 on Perkins, and Neville walks up the ramp. Great talking. I loved seeing a heel Neville. It was amazing, and him getting along with Brian Kendrick's just even better. I love Brian Kendrick. I love heel Neville. I really do. I've liked Neville, but this has made him even better. Please continue with it, WWE. Then we go to the sensitivity training, and in there is Jinder Mahal, Bo Dallas, Darren Young, and Bob Backlund, mainly because they're doing absolutely nothing while getting paid for it. Enzo shows up a little late. He is asked to tell why he is here. Enzo says he is here today because he showed his co-workers his Italian sausage. He said it was his partner's fault because he left him out of the locker room. He is asked about how long he has been having problems with his partner, and Enzo says he likes girls. Enzo is told to take a seat, and he takes it literally. Jinder starts speaking and he's asked how to spell his name, and then Enzo interrupts and spells out SWAFT thing, which was really good. Then we go to a match, Titus O'Neil versus Sin Cara. Super thrill night, that. Braun Strowman just came out and beat them up, which was really good. It made the point that Braun Strowman is going to go after people, which I like. The ending of this was really good, though. Braun Strowman launched Sin Cara off the stage into a Christmas tree and some Christmas presents. It was really, really good, and it looked like Sin Cara may have died. Knowing his botchiness, he probably has. Then we move to the back, and Kevin asks Chris if he's okay. Kevin tells Chris to calm down and focus on the match. Chris points out that it wasn't Kevin who got hanged in that cage like a moron. Kevin says no one thinks Chris is a moron. Chris says you don't know what it's like to be hanging above a ring like a sexy pinata. Oh, bad jokes. Chris says he is afraid of heights and he has arachnophobia. Kevin says that arachnophobia is a fear of spiders. Kevin says that Chris is his best friend and his tag team partner. Chris says that tonight Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns will get it. Kevin Owens and the Braun Strowman segment were really good. I enjoyed both of them. Kevin and Chris are absolutely amazing together. They are the highlight of the show. Braun beating people down is really good. It's definitely proven that he'll do what he wants until he gets what he wants, even better, which is good. Then Charlotte makes her way to the ring. She tells everyone to bow down to your queen. She says she would call Sasha Banks out here, but after what happened, she might not make it. We saw what happened when Nia Jax got a hand on Sasha. Charlotte says at Roblox she knocked the boss out of Sasha Banks. Charlotte says she has solidified herself as the greatest female wrestler of all time. She would dominate everyone. Trish Stratus, Fabulous Mooner. Charlotte says she is the queen of pay-per-view. Subscribe to the WWE Network thinking this is the month that you see Charlotte lose and then she disappoints you all. Charlotte says she is a guaranteed winner. Charlotte says that Clemson will beat Ohio State in the college football playoffs. Charlotte says no one is on her level. Bayley makes her way to the ring. Charlotte wants to know why Bayley interrupting her. Bayley says she's not here to interrupt Charlotte. She's here to congratulate her. Sasha versus Charlotte will go down in history as the greatest rivalry in WWE women's history. Lita versus Trish Stratus. Right, where else can we go with this? Mickie James, Trish Stratus was amazing as well. I already rest my case there. Charlotte said that is enough out of you. She says she doesn't even know why Bayley put on her ring gear because she does not belong in the ring. She says that Bayley belongs in the crowd, paying to watch her. Bayley says she's not finished. Now that Sasha and Charlotte's over, it's time for the Charlotte and Bayley feud. Last night there was a scoreboard and it was all about the scoreboard. Their scoreboard is different. It reads Bayley 2, Charlotte 0. Bayley says she remembers what happened at Survivor Series. Charlotte says those victories don't count. Charlotte says she held up 4 fingers for her 4 title wins and 4 of them. And Charlotte says she will always be number 1 and Bayley will always be number 4. The real reason she did not join her, Becky and Sasha, was that you weren't good enough. Charlotte asked if the truth doesn't hurt. Bayley says she's heard it before. Why not prove now that she's good enough? Charlotte asks if Bayley wants to wrestle her after what she put her body through with last night. She tells Bayley that she is dressed like a 5th grader, so let's go to school. Charlotte calls no referee. We have Bayley versus Charlotte in a non-title match. Bayley with a backslide for the 3 count. It's 3-0 Bayley. That whole Charlotte-Bayley feud there was really, really good. It was a minimum of 10-15 minute match, which was really good. The talking was good, and I'm hoping we have a proper blow off for the title match. I cannot wait for that. Then we go back to the sensitivity training. They are told to pair up, even though there is 5 of them. Bo is told to know about boundaries. Bob and Darren do some role playing. Enzo mocks Jinder Mahal. Jinder mocks Enzo. Enzo asks if he is insensitive if he smacks the taste out of Jinder's mouth, and he is told it would be. So he decides not to do it. After this, we have a commercial break. After that, we come back. Bo says he will stop forcing his beliefs on others. He is given his certificate. Darren said he will stop being so selfish and supportive of his coach. Bob said that he will support Darren. They both get the certificates. Ginger said he'll think before he acts out. He gets his certificate. Enzo said he's excited about the more sensitive parts of all of his life. Enzo is given the certificate, but he says he's already certified. He hits on the instructor, and then Enzo turns around and Rusev is there. He starts to leave, but Jinder blocks the exit. Jinder punches Enzo and Rusev knocks him down. Jinder and Rusev punch Enzo and throw him around. Rusev punches Enzo while Jinder holds him. Jinder gets a few shots while Rusev holds Enzo. Lana shows up and she slaps Enzo in the face and tells Rusev that special word, and Rusev sends Enzo through a table with an Uranage. I don't know. Sorry, it's late. Then we go to the main event of the show. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Match was really good. Jericho goes for a springboard dropkick, but Reigns with a Superman punch. Then Braun Strowman comes down to the ring and pulls Roman off the apron, and the referee calls for the disqualification, or no contest, I think it was, by the end of it. After the match, Strowman comes into the ring. Jericho and Owens feel their night is over and flee. Strowman beats the shit out of both Reigns and Rollins. And that's how we leave the night, with them two leaving and then them two being decimated by Braun Strowman. It was an alright Raw. It kind of started on a high with the Jericho stuff and went a bit low, and then ended in a alright Braun Strowman segment. It weren't too bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later.